Okay, so the question for this quick video is what are some of the long-term effects or challenges for a baby who has recently suffered a traumatic brain injury like HIE at birth? Before I get too deep in this video, I want to make sure that you understand that what I'm talking about, these things are in general. There is no guarantee if your baby just had a traumatic brain injury that they're going to be dealing with all of these issues. Okay, so I want to get that out there. These issues that I'm talking about are just, like I said, some of the more common ones that families talk with us about when their baby has suffered a traumatic brain injury and they want answers as to what caused the injury. All right, so number one, the first one is going to be seizures. And seizures can be interesting because sometimes we'll have families, they will report to us that their baby may be suffering from quite a number of seizures as right after birth. But as time goes on and they're on medications and other types of treatment, the seizures, they go down. They're having less seizures. They're few and far between. But seizures are something that are talked about with a lot of families who contact us. And for our definition of seizures, they are abnormal brain activity. Number two is going to be blindness or vision challenges. And this can be in either both eyes or this can be one eye. So vision issues and vision challenges, that's something that does come up a lot. Number three, hearing loss. And the same with what I just said about vision, it could either be in both ears or it could be more pronounced in one ear. And so hearing issues, those can sometimes be challenges for babies that have traumatic brain injuries. Number four, this is going to be thinking and cognitive challenges. Thinking and cognitive challenges, that can also be something that might manifest itself. And the next one is going to be speaking. Speaking challenges may exist, but for some families and babies, their cognitive ability is still strong. And so even though the child may not be able to speak like we're talking right now, they can still use and communicate through sign. So although there may be speaking challenges, sign language, depending on the cognitive level, sign language could still be a way in which these babies, as they grow up and get older, they are able to communicate through sign. And the last one is going to be swallowing or table food, eating table food. A lot of children, they will have sometimes challenges with swallowing food, and they may have to use a feeding tube. So I want to just get that out here. These are some of the most common things and challenges that families report to us when their baby has suffered a traumatic brain injury. I want to also give you one tip, one thing that you can use if your baby has just had a brain injury and you are concerned about, okay, what are these challenges? What might they look like? Spend some time talking with the doctors and medical professionals about the injury to the brain. In other words, find out what area or areas of the brain have been injured and see if the doctors can explain to you the areas that are injured. What do they control in the body? What area of the body will this injury impact? Because that part of the brain has been injured. Now, it's no guarantee that they're able to be able to pinpoint it's going to be this. No, but it might give you some idea. Is, like I said, some of the challenges that might be there. So if you're wondering about what it's going to look like in the future, that may be something that you can use. We've had families that have talked with their doctors about those types of things, and they've been able to get some answers. For example, if the basal ganglia has been injured, that's going to control certain parts of the body and certain types of things. So I know that it was a lot in this video that I talked about, but I'm just trying to help you understand that if your baby has a traumatic brain injury, these may be some of the challenges that they have moving into the future. If you have more questions, maybe you're here today watching this video because your baby has suffered an HIE brain injury and you have questions as to who caused it. Was it something that the doctors and the nurses or the hospital, something that they did? And if they did, they should be held responsible for it. Or was it something genetic or developmental? If you have these types of concerns, what I invite you to do is go ahead and get your phone and call me at the telephone number that you see down below. I talk with families about these types of issues all the time: HIE, cerebral palsy, MAS, shoulder dystocia issues, a whole host of issues when it comes to birth injuries. This is what we do. When you call my office, be sure, and remember, it costs you absolutely nothing initially to talk with us about your baby story. But when you call my office, make sure that when you talk to my secretary and you get on our calendar, you pick a date and a time. That is very important that you pick a date and a time so we know when to reach back out and to call you. One more thing before I get out of here. I practice law here in the state of Maryland. I know this video is on the internet, it's on our website, it's on social media sites and apps and all this other stuff. And I can't control who's going to watch this video and who's going to pick up their phone and call me. We get individuals who will call us. Sometimes they're not in Maryland. They're in the United States, but they're not in Maryland. If you are not in Maryland and you contact my office, just understand that we have to use what we call local counsel or co-counsel. In other words, an attorney in your state. And that's something that we can work to help you with. I just want to make sure, though, that you understand that co-counsel or that local counsel aspect of stuff if you are not here in the state of Maryland. All right, that's going to be it for today's quick educational video. Again, I'm Marcus Boston, and I'm one of the childbirth injury and medical malpractice attorneys practicing law here in the state of Maryland at Boston Law Group, LLC. We'll talk with you next time. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day.